All right, in this video, we're going to go ahead and get started on jumping into those publications. And the first two that we're going to look at is Pub 151, Distance Between Ports, and Pub 150, the World Port Index. So as we're putting together the publications that we need to conduct our restricted waters transit, these first two publications are really the most general publications. So they're a great place to start as you move from general to specific. So our first publication is Distances Between Ports, Pub 151. And this publication is published by NGA and contains a huge number of distances between various major and a lot of minor ports around the world. And this publication is going to be helpful in gathering really the most important piece of information that we need when we're starting out on this planning. And that is, how long is it going to take for us to get there? So we can use the information that we grab from this publication to give our captain or our ops an idea of how long it's going to take for us to arrive. One thing to note about distances between ports is that it only is, as the title states, between ports. A lot of times in the Navy, we are transiting not necessarily directly between two ports, but we might be transiting from one operational area to another. So this may not always be helpful in that type of voyage planning. But when we are transiting from one port to another, this is a great resource to use. And as noted here, you can see that the distances can vary and are approximations. So the way that you plan your voyage based on whatever other operational considerations you might have may not give you the exact same distance as you might look up in distances between ports. The distances that are listed in this publication are based on sort of the prevailing routes that a ship might take, but these are by no means specific to Navy ships. And so what we might get when we actually put our track down on a chart might vary from what the answer is when we look it up in Pub 151. And the other thing to take note of is that depending on how you approach this publication, you may get a slightly different answer. And we'll cover that as we open up the pub. So for our first example here that we're going to use to dig into this, we're going to take a look at the distance between San Diego, California to Aden, Yemen. So I'm going to show you on my screen how I navigate this publication. So what I've already done is I've opened up the publication here on my tab. And I did that by looking up the publication on the NGA website. You can also locate this using your quarterly CD, which is what you're commonly going to be using on your ship to look up publications. So as you can see, this has a lot of front matter material. And then the table of contents here, we have the preface and a chart showing the general world routes and a list of junction points. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So here is our general world routes. Like I mentioned, this publication is based on the prevailing routes between various major places in the world. And that's sort of the basis for the distances that you'll find in this publication. And then following that, there's a list of junction points. And as you'll see, the junction points are what we use to navigate between these smaller ports, right? If we are going between San Diego and Aden, we're not going to be able to necessarily look up that direct distance. We're going to have to find a junction point in between them. And these are just representations on maps of where all of those junction points are. So you can sort of page through these when you have a little bit of extra time, just to get an idea of what those junction points are. And then now, this is the first page of the actual publication, and you can see it's an alphabetical listing of all the ports. And then under each port, you can see, so if we look even at one of the first ports on here, let's go ahead and take a look at Aberdeen, Scotland, for example. We can see that the Latin long of that port is listed, And then we also have a list of junction points. And when we're making a long voyage, usually we are going to have to reference these junction points first. And then following the junction points, there's a list of ports. And these are all relatively nearby. So you wouldn't need to use a junction point necessarily to get directly from Aberdeen to this list of ports. So let's go back to our example. Remember, we were trying to find the distance between Aden, Yemen, and San Diego. So let's go ahead and look up Aden. And it should be fairly early here. It appears early alphabetically. Right, so here we are. We've got Aden, Yemen right here. There's the Latin long of that place. And if I wanted to just take a look, I can see that if I look at the ports and if I look at the list of junction points, San Diego doesn't appear on either of those lists for Aden. So now I got to look at what junction point San Diego and Aden, Yemen might have in common. So if I take a look at these, there's a number that might work, but the one that makes the most sense is Singapore, right? If we're departing San Diego and headed to Aden, we're probably going to head west out through the Pacific Ocean, and on our way, you could see that if you can imagine what that would look like on the map, we're going to probably pass nearby Singapore on our way. So let's go ahead and grab Singapore as our junction point. So here we can see that the distance from Aden, Yemen to Singapore is 3,631 nautical miles. So go ahead and jot that down in your notes. So now that I've gotten that first piece of the puzzle, I want to go ahead and pull the distance between San Diego and now our junction point that we've selected, which in this case is Singapore. So there's two ways for me to do this. I can go to the section of the publication for Singapore and find San Diego there, or alternatively, I can go to San Diego and pull Singapore. So either way, you're going to get a similar but not the same answer, but it will be close enough for our purposes. So the easiest way to navigate this pub is just to go through and do a Control F. So if I do that and I just type in San Diego, so I've done a lot of clicking through, and San Diego appears quite a few times in this publication, but now you can see at the top of the page here, I've got San Diego listed, and now I'm on the page for San Diego. So if I take a look at our port here, you can see that Singapore does appear as a junction point for San Diego. And now all I have to do is grab that distance. In this case, it is 7,736 nautical miles. And again, write that in your notes next to the distance you already pulled for the distance between Aden and Singapore. All right, now that I've gotten what I need from the publication, I can go ahead and put those two numbers together to find our total distance between San Diego and Aden, Yemen. So now all I'm doing is just adding those distances together. So I've got my 3,631 nautical miles that I grabbed for our distance between Aden and Singapore, and then our 7,736 nautical miles. That is the distance between Singapore and San Diego. So if we add those two numbers together in our calculator, we're going to get 11,367 nautical miles, and that's our total distance between San Diego and Aden, Yemen. Now, as I mentioned before, there are a few different ways to do this in the publication, depending on where you're looking to grab those distances. And if I had done it a little bit differently, I would have gotten a little bit of a different answer. I would have gotten 11,363 nautical miles. Now, it's good to know that there is a possibility that you'll get a slightly different answer, but in the grand scheme of things, over the course of more than 11,000 nautical miles, 3 or 4 nautical miles isn't going to make a big difference, especially when it comes to your ETA. And of course, once you actually go and lay your track between these two ports, your distance may also vary a little bit. But this answer is good enough to get us going in terms of approximating how long it's going to take for us to get there. And that's what we need at this point in our planning process.